Hello everybody, I'm Mark from MABO Science and welcome back to the Kali Linux Lite tutorial. Today we're going to throw out the different post-installation steps that are required before installing any penetration or other tools on our operating system. Now, I am more the person of let's try it out and see what happens, then of course going throughout all the list that you're gonna see now. So what I would say is let's start up our virtual lab environment and crack on. Okay, we started our virtual machine and now we're gonna log in. So we log in as root. We type in, of course, the password that we selected during login. Here we go. And the very first thing we're gonna do is launching a terminal, and that you can do here below in the menu. Just click on it and you get your terminal available. So what we're gonna do for the very first time now is actually validating that the repositories where we can select and download our patches or distribution upgrades, we're gonna validate if they are present. So what we're gonna do is cat /etc/app/sources.list. And I can say already that we are missing some entries, so we will add those in now, and that we're gonna do by typing nano /etc/app/sources.list. We go with our cursor down and we're gonna type the following. First of all, we're gonna insert the regular repositories. So this is regular repositories. Here we go. So that it's step http://http://kali.org/kali-rolling main non-free contrib dep http://http://kali.org/kali main non-free contrib. And we're gonna also insert the source repositories for those who like to have a peek at the sources that are available on Kali Linux. Here we go. Dep -source http and it's exactly as above. So just type in what you see above, just with the difference that it's dep source. Here we go. And now we can do Control X. Do you want to modify? Yes, of course. Type Y and just hit enter here, and everything is there now as it should be. And what we're going to do now is just validate that everything is present with the arrows up. We recall our last entry, hit enter, and there it is. Now what we're gonna do now is actually upgrade the system and upgrade the distribution if they are available. How are we gonna do that is actually by typing apt get upgrade and then lost my keyboards. Here it is. apt get dist hyphen grade, and then apt get minus f install. So what we're gonna do now is actually asking the system to upgrade the distribution, our system, and to install it at the same time. Please do not forget to do this, that you need to have an internet connection, and it needs to be, of course, a good one. It means at least a 4G, otherwise it will take way too much time. So let's hit enter. Nothing to install. Okay, means that we have the latest and greatest. So that's it, even better. So now we're gonna do apt get update if there's any. Yes, there are. Here we go. And this can take a while. Okay, that's it. And what we're gonna do now is just recall to validate if, of course, during the update, if there are any upgrades or anything else to be done. And yes, there is. So we tap Y, and this will take a while. So this takes about 5 to 10 minutes to download and install everything. Of course, in this video, everything will go a bit faster. Okay, here, hit the Q key. Okay, yes, here we say no. Cron is okay. So we typed twice, enter, and that's it. Okay, and now we're gonna type yes again. And here we're gonna type the Q key again. Okay, and now we press no, or hit the default key. And here again we press just enter. What you just saw is the disconnection and connection of the network. That's normal. On the moment he of course is upgrading some of the network, let's say the sub routines, so that's completely normal, so don't worry on that one. And we are finished. Okay, now we are almost finished, because what we want to do now is of course clean our system so that we don't leave old packages or something else. So what we do is apt auto auto remove -y and apt clean -y. Hit the enter button. Oops, sorry guys, it used to be an apt clean -y. Here we go. This doesn't take that long, as it is just removing some old packages and some old modules, so this is actually going quite fast. It takes about 2 minutes max. Well, as you see, it's already done. Okay, let's clear our terminal. And what we're going to do now is actually installing in this case, the VMware tools. Now, for those who are running it on VirtualBox, I will put in the description how to install the VirtualBox tools. So no worries on this. For those who are doing it on VMware, it's apt -y reinstall install open -vm -tools -desktop fuse and hit the enter. Okay, this takes about 1 minute, so this goes quite quickly. And what does the VMware tools allow you to do is, for example, is to maximize the screen. Otherwise, you would be able to maximize your, I would say, virtual machine, but the actual screen of Linux himself will stay small. And with the tools, that's one of the items that assists you in maximize your screen, as well underlying protocols for printing, USB, CD, DVD are as well enabled at that moment of time once you installed all the tools. For more information about the tools, I would say go to VMware or to VirtualBox, go in the help and see what it all provides you as additional functionalities, as they do change over time as well. Now, to make this all active, we have to reboot the system, and that we can just do by typing the command reboot. Okay, once the reboot is done, as you can see, it goes quite quickly. We will start installing the additional items of our system, and this we're gonna log in again as root, type in the password, and off we go. We're just gonna okay, so I restarted my virtual machine and I'm ready for the next steps of my post-installation tasks, and these will be the following. And the very first one, of course, is the installation of our SSH public key. So as you can see, I did open up a terminal, and we're gonna start with the SSH generation. So this is done by SSH -keygen -b 2048 is the length of the bits, -t is the type, it's RSA. Hit enter. Are you okay to save the key in the root? Of course. In this case, does it exist? Do you want to override it? Yes, I do. Passphrase, please. If you create a passphrase, make it long enough, at least 8 characters, and especially ensure that you can remember it, because you're gonna need it when you want to create the authorization keys on the other applications that want to connect to your Kali Linux. So otherwise you have to redo this whole operation. So of course what's now important is to validate the presence of the SSH and the SSH server. So how we're gonna do that? It's dpkg -l /ssh and as you can see, we have our SSH and SSH server available. Now what we're going to do is, of course, start the SSH service, and that's done by service here we go, finally, SSH start. And of course we're gonna validate if our SSH runs, and as you can see, it just started. Hit the Q key to get out of it. And now one thing which is really important is to ensure that all our changes are not changed after a restart. So how are we gonna do that? That's done by update -rc .d sh remove. We need to remove the old stuff. Now update -rc.d -f sh defaults. Now we have to restart our service. Here we go, restart. And validate that he is up and running. And yes, he is. Hit the key queue again. And actually that's it. Now, what we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna clear the screen, is actually to ensure that the sound is available when we boot up. That's done by apt-get install lasa-utils minus or -y, and here we go, done and dusted. And what we're gonna do as next is installing, of course, our OpenGDK, but for the very simple reason, a lot of modules and applications in Kali Linux are written in Java, so we do require a GDK available, and I selected the OpenGDK. If you want, of course, you still can install the one from Oracle, but be aware that this is under a license agreement. And the OpenGDK, Oracle is in there as well. The only difference is no license. Hit enter. Okay, done and dusted. And what I also like to do is to install the Git repository, because there are very often some very nice tools available in Git, and sometimes there are some little developments that I want to do as well and store them in Git. So here we go, done. And last but not least is to install, actually, is the package manager. Why the package manager is a very complete tool for installing modules, applications, and so on, and it's really good to have that done. Now with me, as you can see, it went quite fast. It can be that it will take for certain under you, let's say 2 to 3 minutes per installation. Don't worry, it's normal. It's at that moment of time it needs to download some of the source code and modules from Kali Linux himself. So that's it. Now at the end, there are actually 2 really important items to do, and the very first item is actually creating a non-root user. How do we do that? That's by @user -m. That's how you're gonna call them. That, for me, it's MABO -g sudo -s /bin bash. What does that all do is just, oops, what did I do wrong? Okay, so what we're gonna do now is actually installing the last 2 items, which are the user and a non-root user. So what we're gonna do here is user -m mark -g sudo -s bin /bash. And what I actually do is I create my own mark, and I now put myself in the sudo group so I can execute sudo commands, and I will be using the bash environment. And last but not least, of course, I got change my password mark. Here again, minimum 8 characters, best of course is a passphrase, and I would say priority number 1 at the end is do not forget to change the root password. So pass wd root, also here, do not forget that it needs to be at minimum 8. Best is of course a passphrase. So this is it. Okay, we finalized all our post installation tasks. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, please give the thumbs up, otherwise give the thumbs down. If you like to follow us in the future, please subscribe, and next time we will perform the installation of all the penetration and audit tools on Kali Linux. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.